All right. Hey, welcome everyone to Oh man, Groove Swing Speaks right here. If you guys been enjoying the music, that was none other than Mr. Chenier, our special guest here tonight. Let me just tell you a little bit about this fine artist. Inspired by the greats R. Kelly, Michael Jackson, Smokey Robinson, Babyface, Marvin Gaye, and Brian McKnight. Mr. Chenier writes all of his music with a mission to spread love through song, whether it's to make love, populate the world. Fall in love or dance in the name of love. At the end of the day, it was his music that helped him spread love all over the world. Mr. Chenier is an all-around entertainer from music to film. His goal is to represent the grown and sexy movement in R&B music to its fullest. He wants to be listed with the greats as one of the biggest entertainers ever. Let's see, he wants to share his craft with the world, share his craft. Let's see, where did I lost my space right there? With other artists and help those looking to pursue fraternal organization of music. And lastly, to continue to spread love. Mr. Chenier has recently released his new project titled Allow Me to Introduce Myself. You guys were listening, I played that a little bit earlier. Okay. Seven-time nominee for Male R&B Artist of the Year at the Carolina Music Awards. Two-time winner for Male R&B Artist of the Year at the Bull City Music Awards 2013. Let's see, 2013 and 2016. 2014 winner of Music Video of the Year at the Bull City Music Awards. 17 packed crowds. Night of Soul R&B Concert Series. 2016 open for Genuine, Jay Holiday, Avant, Kelly Price, Drew Hill, and Tony Terry. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the set. None other than the man himself, Mr. Chenier. Mr. Chenier, how are you, my friend?
I'm good. How's everybody doing?
We're doing great. Doing great. I was
Awesome.
listening to your music, man. I thoroughly enjoy it.
Yeah, I
Thoroughly
appreciate it.
enjoy
Thank you. Thank you.
your music. Now, I gave a brief bio, but what would you like to share with the audience before we go around the panel? And what would you like to share with the audience that we haven't covered?
Uh, well, you don't hit the nail on the head. Singer, songwriter, producer, um, concert promoter, actor. I pretty much do it all when it comes to the entertainment field. So that's just me in a nutshell.
Outstanding, outstanding. Now, your accomplishments are there. Are quite a few accomplishments that I saw. Seven-time nominee for Male R&B Artist of the Year at the Carolina Music Festival, and we can go on and on and on. What was in your opinion, your greatest accomplishment in the music world?
My greatest accomplishment was actually when I first recorded my first song back in 2003. Because I thought that was my introduction to the music world. So when I was able to get into the studio and lay down my first track, my first song, that's where I knew it's time.
Oh, outstanding, outstanding. Well, let me introduce you to the panel and we go around. And first of all, I want to thank Tanisha. I think Tanisha introduced us to you. I think she's the one.
Hey,
That,
Tanisha.
Hold on, hey,
yep.
brother.
Oh, absolutely,
What's going on?
absolutely.
Yeah.
And then our other swing sister, that is Tiffany. Hey,
Hey,
Tiffany.
Tiffany.
Hello, hello.
How are
Okay.
you?
And my
Okay.
brother, Robert Hicks.
Brother Hicks,
Hey,
what's
good
good?
evening. How you doing?
All right, all right.
Hey, Robert, this is our 55th, 56th episode. Which one is this?
Go one higher, 57.
Whoa.
Mm.
All right, all right. We've been going strong for well
Look.
over a year. So I gave you a little bit of his brief bio. Let's start with Tanisha. Tanisha, I think you deserve to go first. But before you do that, I want to welcome and Mr. Chenier, I want to introduce you also to one of our favorite artists that we showcase on the station often. And she also has a brand new podcast that started last Thursday, and that is the lady songbird Genda Harris. If you haven't heard of Genda Harris before, you missing a treat. She has a podcast, and she will have one notable artist on once a month. But her dream and her goal is to educate and uplift new artists through the industry. you know as well as she does, it is not an industry, an easy industry to break into.
Oh no,
So,
no.
so she mentors up and coming artists and show them the ins and the outs. And I'm telling you, she sings all ranges, including that whistle register, which is registers at number 5. I mean, good gracious. Number 1 on the stream, I'm sorry, Spotify retro soul chart. Number 2 in the UK. Oh my God, somebody that you need to meet. But anyway,
Oh.
Tanisha.
Hey, you all. I just want to say hello. Daylight savings, right?
Daylight savings.
Are you all tired yet? I'm worn out.
What? You trying to get used to the sunlight?
I'm trying to get used to it, but I'm enjoying it. But I just want to say, Mr. Wilson, I am so happy to see you. And I didn't realize that you had a long list like that. To be honest with you, I didn't know I was dealing with a superstar. The way that I got introduced to, I didn't know. I had no clue. But the way I got introduced to him was through a real estate transaction. And so he shared one of our mutual friends shared a video with me called "The Superman." I was like, oh, that's a nice song. So it was sticking with my head. So I was like, you know what? This guy's got a lot of talent because it's like the neo soul, and I'm not, I like jazz. You all know a jazz person, but his music is really, it's really, really touching. It can make you dance in the mirror with that when and you get out the shower and things like that. It makes you feel good. It's almost gives like a Charlie Wilson little twist to it. But I had no clue that you actually were that involved or that in depth in the music industry at all. And I thought maybe this platform would be a good platform to actually expose your music or just play your music on. Because I mean, it's very similar, but I just didn't know that you had that much talent, and I didn't know that you had open acts for different people as well too. So I'm really excited, and I'm really proud of you too. And I didn't know that you had a career like that. So I didn't know you was a superstar. I didn't know that. You had the leather pants on, so I should have known that. Yeah. Put on leather pants on, I should have known.
All right. Wow.
I'm just messing.
She said she don't leather pants.
Oh my goodness. No,
that's funny. Got me crying.
I think we need. Yeah, I think we need to go to Tiffany right now.
Good evening, everyone. Hola, my sister. I just wanted to ask, so I see that you won a lot of Carolina awards. Are you from North Carolina?
No, actually, I'm originally from Queens, born in Brooklyn, raised in Queens. I came to North Carolina back in '92 to go to college. St. Augustine was university now. And after I graduated, I decided to stay down here.
All right. I went to St. Aug back in 2008.
Okay. Falcon Pride.
Yes, I know, right? Okay, so all right. How long have you been singing, and is that something you always wanted to do, or was it something that you kind of got into, or was it, you know what I mean? Like, was it something else that you wanted to do when you was coming up?
Oh, I always wanted to sing. I was one of those babies that grew up during the Jackson 5 era. So, first thing you see on TV is little Michael Jackson. Everybody wanted to be Michael Jackson. I was one of them. So I've always wanted to actually be a singer, and I parlayed it into a career after I graduated from college. I was to write songs and stuff, but never had no connections in North Carolina. Then one of my vocal coaches, she told me about the producer that she's working with, by the name of Lee Tate. And we met up in 2003, and we still working with each other to this day.
Okay, nice. What did you go to school for?
Computer information systems. That's one of them situations where, no matter what you do, you can always fall back on computers.
That is true. Okay. Nice to meet you.
Same here.
Brother Hicks.
Yes, good evening. And good to speak with a native New Yorker. But also, you can tell by the Yankees hat, of course. I was doing a little bit of research on you and came to find out, was listening to one of your songs on your website. Now, put it up. Actually, where can people hear your information or find out more about you and your music?
You can go to my actual website, which is www.Mr. Chenier. You can spell that out at MISTERCHENIER.com. That's where you can get all my music, my videos. Or you can also go to Instagram. I am Mr. Chenier. I have music on there, as well as Spotify, which is Mr. Chenier, MRCHENIER.
Fantastic. And I was speaking of your music, I had a chance to listen to one of your renditions, and I didn't think that anybody was able to pull off "Let's Chill" guy, but you pulled it off. I just listened to it earlier to say, and I tell you, you blew it out of the water. It is great. You need to listen to. Go to his website and listen to that track, and also make sure you purchase some of his other songs or purchase the entire album. Definitely. So
thank you.
I would say that was excellent work.
Yeah, the story behind that is when Beyonce did the "Before I Let's Go" by Frankie Beverly and Maze, and my producer was like, who was in the studio just vibing. He said, "You should do a song like that," and I just kept thinking about "Let's Chill," and I was like, "Let's make it a little stepping version of "Let's Chill," and we went ahead and knocked it out.
Yeah, because you can hear the stepping music, the stepping sound to it. So definitely listen. Well, this definitely will be played not only in like North Carolina, but in Chicago as well.
Yeah.
So definitely. Thank you.
Outstanding. You know, well, we're going to have you back. I have several platforms that we showcase artists. I mentioned the latest songbird, Jenda Harris, but we have so many. Bruce J, the Entertainer, Diva Soul, Miss Coco. I mean, it just goes on. Derek the Changeman Smith. I'm not sure if you're familiar with him or not, but just an awesome entertainer. Got a question. When did you first started singing? How old were you when you first started singing?
I would say about 7 or 8. You know, my singing started in church choir back in New York. You know, part of the Voices of Hebron, that was the youth choir, and after that, just did gospel choir, college choir in high school. Then we went to college. Then did a college choir and a gospel choir at St. Aug, and just kept on doing music from there. But it started, you know, in the church.
Oh, wow. Now, how about your family? Anyone else, mom, dad, sister, brother, anyone else in your family sing?
Well, my Aunt Joyce, she can sing a tale, or she's actually the singer of the family. But my dad, you know, he thinks he can do everything. So he heard me sing, and now he up there singing songs too. And he heard one of my songs, and then he wants me to teach him how to sing. Now he can sing. So hey, you know.
Okay. Now, when were you, you know, singers that it comes to that point where you're a singer, or an artist, or whatever it is, when you have the confidence in yourself, you say, I can do this. Now, you started singing when you were about 6 or 7, but when did you know that you had the it factor?
Oh, I knew I had the it factor. That came in 2012, and I'm gonna tell you why. Okay, you know, you had the love songs, and when I was doing R&B, I was at the tail end of love songs. Everybody was going to hip hop more, but R. Kelly came out with some stepping music. So I did a song called "The Night," and I have a dance that's a slide and rock. And I performed the one night at this club, and I might have been maybe the oldest person in the club, but when the horns hit, the song came on, and I saw all these people come to the stage and start rocking with me. That's when I knew I got something. Because I actually had to change my format, because I was doing all love songs. Picture singing a love song when it's like 98% men and 2% women in the building, and they all looking at you with the little meme of like, what you gonna do? And you singing about lovey-dovey stuff. You see what I'm saying? So I said, I got to rearrange some things. So y'all should have been there when it happened, because it was like the 2% of girls was sitting way in the back, and all these guys sitting in the front like this. And I'm like singing, and all of a sudden the little strings, the violin come on. I was like, oh God.
You got it.
I said, I gotta make some changes. So when Step in the Name of Love and Happy People came out, and I think what really got me to go that route with my mother, she said, now I like them songs. So I said, you like that, mama? I said, I got something for you. So me and my producer were in the studio, came out with a song called "The Night," and it's a straight dance song. I brought it to the club one night, and they played it, and I saw it. It's a beautiful thing when you see the women get up and they start dancing with each other and started vibing to it. that's when I knew I had something.
That's right. That's
I
right.
said, okay. But what really got it was another show I had where, once again, 98% men, 2% women. But I had a strategy this time. I said, I'm coming back for round 2. Those 2% of females, I'd had them on stage dancing with me.
Oh.
And now, you know, there's not going to, I don't care how hard of a man you are not going to turn down a female that walks up to you and start dancing. I told them, all I need for you to do is dance. They're going to come. So everybody was on the dance floor dancing. That's when I realized I'm going to go ahead and focus on that grown and sexy.
Right.
Stop trying to follow the trends. Straight grown and sexy. Because of my age also, you know. I'm not trying to cater to the young, cater to my age group. And the response was great. It was really great.
You know, that's smart. If you're an artist, that's smart to be able to recognize whether you're connecting with your audience and how to connect, and just put it all together. Just put it all together. Tanisha.
And he has a point about that grown and sexy, because like I mentioned to you earlier, I'm a jazz person, but I love that song that he actually shared with me called The Superman. It's a really cool song, and you know, the video was nice, and I remember the lady with the pretty hair and the lips. And I would say Superman, you know, Superman, it was like radiate to me too as well. So I didn't know that you even had that. See, like I'm saying, I didn't know you were a celebrity. I didn't even know that you were a celebrity. I know that you had a step song, Step Into the Name of Love Like Night. I didn't know that you had that. So I need to hear that song too as well. So again, I'm really super duper proud of you. I also gonna keep on saying I'm proud of all this hidden talent in Raleigh, North Carolina. You don't even know. I didn't even know that I was hanging out with a superstar. I thought I was a superstar, but you're a superstar too as well. So
you know, Soul Superstar House.
I've been talking junk today. I had me some sweet tea from Wilson, so I'm good. But the thing
is,
yes,
Wilson.
I'm hyped today. But I mean, I just keep on saying I'm just so proud of you. I'm just, you know, I'm learning so much more information about you with your talent. I knew you had some talent, but I didn't know it was that far fetched. To be honest with you, yeah.
Well, I talked to him yesterday. We had a good time speaking, right? He sent me his bio. He sent me the music. I listened to it. I said, "Wait a minute, hold on." Yeah, we're going to have him on more than one of my on some other platforms too. So thank you again, Tanisha.
I appreciate it. Okay.
Yeah. Tiffany, what do you have?
Okay, so my main question is, where were you at where it was 98% men? Because that's where I need to be.
Okay. Great question. Okay, no. That's a great question, because you know she wants to know. Okay. Okay. The first time, it was my producer's wife was promoting a hip hop artist, and they were having an after party, and it was like my coming out. This is back in 2004, and the hip hop artist was like one of them gangster rappers. So those were the people at the after party. It wasn't like a whole crew of people, just those guys that was in the video, you know, and the females. And so you had other artists in the video, other artists performing, but they were hip hop. So I was the only singer. Okay. So when I walked up in there and I saw all these dudes sitting there chilling, I'm like, oh man, I got to sing in front of all these dudes. And back then I didn't know the strategy. So now, if I go anywhere, I can go on my music, because I can change my show on the fly if I have to. So back then, it's like I had these 3 songs. I'm gonna sing these 3 songs, no matter who's there. So it's like, oh wow! And like I said, they were all looking at me like, okay, well, what do? You know, you don't look like a rapper, so you a singer. So I'm sitting there singing a ballad, all nervous and everything. And he's like, what, are you kidding me? So that's where I was at. Now the next one, and back in those days, you had mostly hip hop events, so you didn't really have R&B events. So more than likely, if you wanted to perform, you got to perform with hip hop artists. And once again, the event had more hip hop, but I was developing my name, and I was like, okay, this time I see what we're working with. I'm going to go ahead and finesse the situation. So the same scenario, they all looked at me, but this time when they looked at me, I had 4 females on stage with me. And when they started dancing, no twerking, straight 2-stepping. Them dudes, they weren't ready for that. They thought they were gonna start dropping it like it's hot, because they didn't know I was gonna bring. But I brought the instrumentation, because my producer, he does all his original music, instrumentation, the horns, the trumpets, the drums, and the music. and the girl started dancing and spinning around and twirling and stuff, and then walking by and grabbing the guy up, get to the stage, start dancing. Oh, that's when I got him.
Mhm.
My job is done. My job was done.
Okay. Nice. My other question is, what inspires you to write?
I'm not one of those persons that got to be inspired. I can just be watching TV and all of a sudden I say, okay, well, I want to do a dance song, and I do a dance song. Now, I will say this: I can hear a song, and I can listen to the music, the whole song, and then after that, I will listen to it again, but focus more on the music. Mm-hmm. And I may come up with, like with the night, I come with a catchy tune like "Just Slide and Rock." That's how that song started, and that's the end of the song. So now it's like, let's build a whole song around that, because I was thinking about a dance move, because I noticed that nowadays everybody's doing line dances or everybody's doing something. So I figured, let me do something to get these people on the dance floor. Some people, nothing, something to where everybody can perform. So that's how I came up with that song. But usually I'm not one that say, okay, well, the world's coming to an end. Let me write a heartfelt song or anything like that.
Right.
Oh, excellent stuff. What do you got, Rob?
I also understand that you have been involved with some films and some various different videos.
Yeah.
Where specifically people that might have seen you in some of your movies or pictures or various different videos?
Well, you can see my videos on my website, as well as my YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/6374, and that's SYXXTHREE74, and you can see all my music videos there as well. Yeah, that's another thing about me. I love to do movies, but I kind of get the Michael Jackson thing where I just don't make a music video. If I can do more than that, I like to make a movie video where it has a storyline to it. Give the people a really good visual. Now, of course, if the song wants it, my videographer, he can't stand me sometimes because he's like, "You got these 5-minute songs, man. What's up?" That whole 30-minute video. But it's like, I want to give the people opportunity to see me in my acting phase as well. If you get a chance, check out the video "City of Love." That's where it's straight black and white. I actually went back to the era, back into the Jackie Wilson, Sam Cooke era, where I actually had a process. So I think you will enjoy that one.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. I would say when you're mentioning old school R&B, that's definitely one to definitely watch, especially given the vibe of like a black and white scene. Love the colors, by the way, but also because of the sense of the era and also the imagery. You get the raw feeling of it. So
yeah, because what I want to do is, I wanted to make sure that we pay homage to the greats of yesterday. Everybody, some people, believe it or not, don't know their history when it comes to R&B music. So I figured, and also I was inspired by R. Kelly to do stuff like this. That's why I know he got his issues, but the man's a genius when it comes to music and when it comes to delivering the music through videos. Just like Michael Jackson, they tell a story to paint around that song. And I'm like, well, they can do it, I can do it, So yeah, that was definitely the inspiration behind that. Definitely.
What do you see your go on, Rob? I'm sorry, I interrupt. Go on, sir.
I was just saying, fantastic. Thank you.
Chenier, where do you see your career going at this point? Because it seems like to me you're still launching. I mean, going forward with a lot of things. You sound excited about what you're doing. Where do you see your career going from here?
Well, like I said, I just dropped a new project last December. So the goal here is now, because this is actually the first project that's a full length. Usually I've been doing EPs, but this is the actual full length project of 14 songs that I'm really trying to push hard, as well as create storylines for each video. I'm sorry, for each song, because the ultimate goal, and I didn't tell anybody this, but I'm gonna tell you just as y'all the first ones to hear this.
Okay, all right.
The goal is I want to actually write my first screenplay, but I want to do it the way Prince did it. Remember Prince, The Purple Rain, where all the songs were pretty much his songs in it, but have a story to go around each one of those songs and put it all together. You know, I just got, and I was going to call it City of Love, but I'm not too sure about that title. But that's the goal now, to do a screenplay. I've done the acting, I've done everything. Now let me get a movie under my belt.
Okay. Well, I'm going to introduce you. You met this young lady before. That's Tiffany right here on our panel. That's her. You in her wheelhouse now. Tell about
yeah. So I got my degree in digital filmmaking.
Okay.
Yes.
Nice.
And, I've done 2 screenplay adaptations where like those books are on Amazon. So I've done the screenplays for those books, or movie scripts, if you will. And I just I'm working on a pitch deck after we get off the show tonight. I'm working on a pitch deck for one of those screenplays that I've done. And so yeah.
Oh. Yeah. You know what? And we can work together too, because one thing I like to do is I like to incorporate people that I see doing certain things. You know, like because I know you do this, I may come to you and say, "Hey, let's work on the screenplay." You see what I'm saying? So you know, to keep the family ties. I'm like Spike Lee. I'll use the same people over and over to keep everybody working. Especially if I like what you do. Like my videographer, he gets all my money. That's why I'm broke now, because he makes some good videos. But and I keep it in the family. So yeah, definitely. I would love to work with you.
Well, you know, Chenier, this is what we do here. When I spoke to our good sister behind the scene, it's Rock. Okay? Rock is something else. She is, matter of fact, this broadcast wouldn't be what it is without her. I mean, because she schedules all the artists, you know, and we go through her. She schedules, she talks to them, and then she hands them over to me. And just like you and I had a chance to speak, you know, yesterday. And thanks to Nisha for introducing you to Rock, and Rock introduced to me. The whole idea and premise of this broadcast is to connect the dots.
Okay, love it.
Connect the dots, because we have so much talent in this country and around the globe, man. But we need to know one another, and that's how you get things done.
I agree.
You know, if you're building a house, somebody has to lay the floor, somebody has to lay the foundation, somebody have to put the side, and somebody have to put the roof. You know, and we kind of put it all together. Tanisha, what you have?
I was going to ask him, does he play an instrument? And also, too, I think he'll be a good candidate for a group. I don't think did you ever pledge any Divine Nine or anything like that?
I pledged, but let's say I got to pick back up where I left off when the money gets right.
Well, I think you'd be an excellent group, don't you think?
Yeah, absolutely.
I think it'd be right. I think it'd be right on time. But I was wondering, I wasn't sure if I missed that, but do you play any type of instruments?
Well, I used to play the tenor sax when I was in high school, but back in those days, back in those days, we did it because your instrument determined your status. So
come on now,
you played the tenor sax, you was the man.
All right, ladies, calm down, ladies.
If you played the sax, you was the man. If you played the drums, you never went to class. Okay. If you played the flute, you was the little prissy girls. If you played the trumpet, you was like a little the Gap MTV kids. Okay. If you played the tuba, well, you know the rest.
I've seen both of those, trumpet and tuba. So watch it, Chenier.
Can we get some water just to cool things down a little bit?
Listen, right here.
Wait
a minute. Now, and then of course, if you played the alto sax, you was that kid that thought you knew how to play it all. Because I had one guy in my high school, he played the alto, soprano, and tenor, and he thought he was the man. I said, bro, I just want to put that tenor to get the girls. You can do what you want to do with the rest.
I take all of them.
The tenor is a sweet sound.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
Yeah. I had a friend of mine who played the tenor sax, and he said that's how he got his girl. He went out to the beach, put a blanket out there, pulled out his tenor sax, and it was over.
Oh yeah.
That's a sweet sound.
Them saxophones are sweet. That's right. That's right.
Ain't they?
Yeah.
I play the
Okay.
alto, but I mean, it don't sound like a tenor.
Okay. Hey, Tiffany, you just since you put the water down just now, what you got?
No, I'm still on them tenors. I'm still on them saxophone.
Oh yeah.
I didn't know all that.
Right, okay, like it's just getting better and better.
We having fun.
Yes. Let me ask you, what is the most challenging, or do you have anything that's challenging for you when you go out there and you do your performances? Like, do you still get nervous, or you know what I mean?
Oh well, that's the thing. You're going to get nervous because, okay, in the beginning, it was nervous because you never experienced it before. But nowadays, if you're doing on a regular basis and you get nervous, it's because you want to make sure you give one hell of a show.
That's right.
You want to make sure everything goes well. I've experienced going on stage where I'm singing, and before they started using USB drives, they used CDs. The CD would skip, or the CD would stop working, and you're doing this in the middle of a show. So now the question here is, how do you handle it? So you concern yourself about these things. You can, even if you do a sound check, you concern yourself about these things, or the microphone just stops working, and now what do you do? You know, so it's making sure that everything goes well. But as you become a professional in the game, you know how to channel that energy into a good thing.
Right.
You know, so it's like, okay, because I had a situation, one situation where I was doing a fashion show. It was me and my dancers, and the DJ had a microphone that did not have a backing on it, so the battery were exposed. So I'm performing, and I did a turn, and the battery popped out.
Oh no!
So all you saw was this silver thing pop out the microphone, go all the way down to the floor. Now, most people may freak out, but what did I do? Because that part didn't require me to sing, I was just dancing and gyrating while I reached down and picked it up, put it back in, and kept on going. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, you want to make sure that other things is going well, because you know what you want to do. You want to make sure that everything else falls in line, but at the same time, be prepared in the event that it don't, because a lot of venues may not be equipped to actually have artists perform. You know, and then you question the DJ and make sure the DJ's equipment is straight. So those can be challenging.
Okay, that's awesome. Okay, I see that. Like, I like how you like just play it off. You know what I mean? Do your thing.
Yeah. You have to.
Yeah. Okay.
You better. That's right. And that's being a professional. You know, to be able to keep moving. You know, it's just like that ice skater that falls on his or her butt. What he does? He gets right up and keep on skating.
Oh yeah,
right?
like remember that clip that was going around with Beyonce when I think a few years back when she was walking down the stairs and she fell head first down them stairs. She got right back up and got right back in step. You know, you got to keep the party going. And then at the end, she made a joke about it. You know, so like I said, only a professional could do something like that. You know,
right. Also, while we're doing this, I want you also, Chenier, check the private chat. I think Robert left you a message there. Now. It's something that I have to ask, and that is, now you mentioned something about you have your producer has horns and everything. So you were singing with a live band, and or you use tracks as
well, this is what he do. When I say live music is, okay, my producer, shouts out to Lee Tate, Broken Wings Music Group out in Grifton, North Carolina. I'm sure he's watching this too. When I mean play live instruments, he don't play every live instrument. He plays the bass, he plays the lead guitar, he plays the drums, and he plays the keys, but it's not live. He'll take out a live instrument and he'll record it. Like, for example, one of my songs, I want a funky bass line. I can hum it to him. And he tried to do it on the keyboard, but then he said, wait a minute. He said, pass my bass. So he tuned it up and he ended up playing it literally created a track specifically for that actual bass line. So that's what I mean when I say he does live stuff. Or the last song I did, I needed a tambourine sound. So I literally got behind the microphone and recorded him playing a tambourine. You know, so he's definitely a multi-instrumentalist. I might be saying it very wrong, but let's just say he plays a lot of instruments. So but he's a drummer by trade. That's his thing is drummers. But if you need him to play any other instrument, he can play it.
Right. Now, if you notice on your, I think that should be your bottom left of the screen there. The gentleman named Hello, everybody. That's Bruce J, the entertainer. I'm going to introduce you to this gentleman. He's a singer, songwriter, producer, artist, writer. Man, he has his own studio. He produced music for a lot of different artists.
Nice.
And that's Bruce J, the entertainer. So I'm going to turn you on to him. And his company is called Lab 101. He has a host of singers, songwriters, entertainers in his under his umbrella, man. Bruce J, the entertainer. So see, this is like I said earlier, we are here, and our job is to connect the dots. We've tried to showcase the excellence in our communities, folks. This is what we do here. Now tonight is unusual because we will occasionally have an artist, a music artist on, but a lot of times we'll have we could have doctors, lawyers, preachers, teachers, educators. It doesn't matter because guess what? We are everywhere. We've done everything. We created everything, and so we try to showcase that and bring it all together in a collective manner. There, Tanisha, have you cooled down a little bit yet? Tanisha. She can't talk. We can't hear you. No, she's not on mute. No, we can't hear you, Tanisha. Oh no. She's having a little internet problem.
Yeah, so, she's okay. I see her. She's there.
Yeah, we see your lips moving, but we can't hear you.
Tanisha, we can't hear you.
Can't hear you.
Can't hear you.
Okay. You might have to log out and log back in. We want to hear you before the show is over. Okay. Yeah. Tiffany.
Let's see.
Oh wow.
I know, right? He got me stuck, right? Okay. Okay, let's go back. I want to ask this question. This is coming from one of our viewers, and this is coming from Jenna. She's asking, what's the importance of being an unsigned artist, or is it better to be independent?
Great question. Based upon the way the music scene is going right now, it would be better for me actually to be independent, and it also really depends on what you really want to. Now, for example, if you were signed to a label, of course you have the machine to back you up, so therefore you have everything they give you. Okay, but as you know, you did your research lately, labels aren't the best thing because people are getting screwed over. Because actually, a label is pretty much somebody loaning you money to do ABCD, and you bring them back their cut or so on and so forth. But in the interim, they're going to make you who you want to be. Now, one good thing about being independent is you have total control of everything you do. Okay. Now, of course, with that means you got to be disciplined to do certain things, because you just can't. Sometimes, like the Jackson 5, for example, let's take them for example. When they were doing it, they had to be on it. Their daddy made sure of that. But I'm independent. If I say tomorrow I don't feel like being bothered, I don't gotta be bothered. But you do know that each time you let go by that you're not focused on your craft, there's always somebody to take your spot. So it's more of a discipline when you are independent artist. But once you start getting involved in what you're doing and you really show that you really want it, you will see the good and the bad side, because it comes both, whether you signed or not. The only difference, like I said, is when you sign, you have that machine behind you that can get you where you want to go musically, or even if you are an entertainer, as opposed to independent. It may be a little challenging because of the budget you have. A lot of people ask, do you have a budget? Do you have a budget? Do you have a budget? When you sign, you get the best of the best. Why? Because you got people investing in your career, So I would tell anybody, it depends on what you want, because you got some people that want to be a Beyonce or want to be a Usher, okay? And they want to get that bling bling, whatever they call it nowadays. So they go that route, but just be mindful to know the business.
Right.
Know the business. And then there's some people who just like myself, I'm 50. So me getting signed to a label, For what? You know, I mean, now I'm no dummy. If Jay-Z say, okay, I'm bringing the R&B division, I want you to head it, I'd be a fool to say no. You know, I mean, hey, I got opportunity, but I know the business though, so you're not going to screw me. You know, so learn the business and decide which path you want to go. Think with those things in mind, and you should be straight.
Absolutely. Yep. And that business aspect is so vitally important. The latest songbird, Jen, I mentioned her earlier. And
I know gender. Singing child.
the latest songbird. And she, like, again, I want to invite all of you and our listener audience as well. Tune in Thursday. And Chenier, if you have time, tune in Thursday. She's on noon on the West Coast, right here on this network, and 3 p.m. on the East. Okay. And that is Soul to Soul. Soul, the number 2, Soul. With the latest songbird, Gender, Let's Talk. Let's talk. And like I said, she brings up and have conversations with artists. She has one notable artist once a month. And then she'll have the other 3 weeks, she'll have up and coming artists and share information like you're sharing now on how to navigate yourself through this business. Now, Gender is saying major labels aren't necessarily signing like they did back in the days. I want to take on that.
I agree.
Okay.
Well, see, back in the day, this is if I can remember how it was back in the day. You singing in the corner, you singing on the streets, or you singing somewhere, somebody hears you, they bring you up to the label, you sing for the CEO, they sign you on the dot. Yeah, those days are over. They don't do that no more. It's like nowadays, if I'm not mistaken, and Jenna, help me out if I'm wrong, or correct me if I'm wrong. Nowadays, they want you, they want to already complete a project. So when you come to them, the first thing they're going to ask you, what your numbers look like. Okay, you got to already have the fan base. You got to already have everything in line because they don't want to do the artist development like they used to. You know, like we had Usher came out. I mean, Usher to me is the last of the original industry singers for males. Everything else now is all about machine, and how you sound on the auto-tune stuff. That's why I always say Usher is the last of the young artists. Everybody say who the king R&B, R. Kelly is, but to me, Usher is for the younger. Like everybody say Chris Brown. No, Usher to me. So when it comes to artist development, it's like back then they taught you how to sing, they taught you how to walk, they taught you how to do everything. You got to have the finished product now.
Come in the door with it.
They want to know what your numbers are like. They're going to want to know everything you got going on. Okay, because I don't believe they don't take time to actually establish an artist like they did back in the day. Because like I said, back in the day, you took a kid off the street, you train them, you get them right because you feel you can market that person. Nowadays, you got to already come marketable.
Right. You know what I'm loving about this is because like Bruce J, the entertainer, and the latest songbird, Gender Harris, like I say, there's amazing artists in their own right. And they are, like you said, a lot of artists don't have that discipline anymore. Bruce J said, now we don't have artist development. You just said that. And Gender just put up something interesting. Independent, you are paying your way up front, investing in yourself. Now with a label, they front you the money, but eventually you need to pay that money back.
Right, yeah. So it's like I'm saying, ultimately it's a loan. Hey, I'm gonna go ahead and Tanisha gonna give me Okay, here we go. Tanisha give me $1.5 million for my album. Okay.
Okay.
My album goes. Yeah, I know. My album goes number 1. Okay, but and I'm the man of Mr. Chenier can't do no wrong because my album went number 1. But she gave me 1.5 million. I only made 800,000. I still owe her money.
Oh boy,
for that album. So what's gonna happen is I'm gonna need some more money for my second album. She gonna give me some more money for my second album, but I still owe that first project. So now I make with interest, bringing it. There you go, Jen, with interest. So now I done made more money on the second project to pay back the first album, but I still owe money on the second album. So what ends up happening is they end up owning you. Now all of a sudden y'all get into some issues. Now all of a sudden Tanisha says, you know what? I'm going to shelf you for a while because you do what I say. Once again, when you sign to a label, they control your movements. Now, when you're independent artists, here's the challenge. You might not have that budget, like Jenna said, to do the things you would if you was a major artist.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, that don't mean you can't make music.
That's right.
We're making music now. We do what we can with what we got.
That's right.
And my producer, he's no major person, but he gives you major sound. Mm-hmm. He don't have no major studio. He has a place where he can be in a closet, but he got 30 years of experience, so he can make it work. That's why there's a lot of independent. The independent game is really saturated because when I was doing it 20 some years ago, it wasn't as saturated. There's a lot of independent artists. They're making singers, songwriters, rappers, dancers, videographers, producers, film makers every day.
Mm-hmm.
Then our question here is, what makes you stand out from the rest? That's the question of the day.
That's absolutely correct. Absolutely. Tanisha, you're back. Let's see if your microphone is working.
Can you all hear me okay now?
Oh, yes.
So when I said 1.5 million, I heard her. I
said okay, but I was calculating in my head. I'm just messing with you. At some point, all of us together could maybe do that for you at some point. Robert especially. But but I was gonna. So you were saying that you have to come already like ready made. So do you think that you have to like build your platform on like social media, such as like Instagram and all the different platforms, in order to get your numbers up? Is that what do you do to market yourself? I know you've done the YouTube. I know you got Spotify, but what do you think has been very helpful in marketing your talent?
Well, shout out to my man J Red. He's a Southern Soul artist.
Okay.
He told me this back in 2007. He said, because we don't have the budget to be on radio consistently, like the major clear channels and stuff like that, you got to perform. You got to be seen. You got to be visible. And that's why when it comes to social media, and I tell a lot of people, social media is the easiest way to push yourself. Why? Because it's free.
Yeah.
It's free. And little things like little short clips. Like if I have a dance to one of my songs, you out there, I have one of my boys or my family members record me doing it in the street. When downtown, you see people sitting there recording themselves. That's you marketing yourself. Okay. A lot of people, especially with YouTube, I think Soulja Boy might have been the first one where he was rapping on YouTube and got discovered. You see what I'm saying? So that would be the best way, is to consistently be seen. Mm-hmm. Now I'm pretty sure you can make money or whatever and gain fans just for your music alone. Mm-hmm. But see, like I said, from old school, I would love to see the person that I'm listening to. So if you have an opportunity to show your face and then at the same time shake a hand, make a friend.
Okay.
Develop contact information. Jenna could tell you, do an email where people subscribe to your page. Give them a reason to want to come and support you. So they go always stay relevant. That's another thing. Make sure that you are always on top of your game and you're out there in the forefront. Because remember, I told you, as an independent artist, you can stop this whenever you want. You can take a break, but remember, while you're taking a break, there's somebody else moving forward.
That's right.
So you might be number one today or this week, but because you want to fall back because you feel you achieved something, you could be number 5 the next week because people are still hungry. You got to stay hungry. You got to stay hungry.
I did have one more question too. So I know you do a lot of solo work. Have you done? I'm not sure if anybody asked this question when I was actually trying to log back on. Have you done any work with some other artists like yourself, or like any group work, or did you ever do any duo type things? What have you done, or just always been solo? Or would you be interested in doing something like that in the future where you can partner up with somebody else too?
Oh yeah, I would love to definitely collab with other artists. That's what I'm all about. I'm all about work with people as well. I have collab with hip hop artists. Because a lot of people they thought I was just straight R&B. I was like, I got some hip hop songs where I collab with hip hop artists as well. But as far as a singer, no. Okay. No. I would love to do that though, definitely.
Okay.
Oh, boy.
Now I'm thinking about. See, I'm always thinking about something. I'm thinking about doing an album that's called duets,
Okay.
where
Beautiful.
where it has that, but it got to be a Marvin Gaye, Tammy Terrell type feeling when it comes to the music. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'm all about that old school, that feel good music. So I'm gonna do a duet with a singer. Oh, we gotta bring it back to the real thing. None of this new stuff, the straight singing. You know,
Right.
you in the studio, you sweating.
That's right. You know, I tell you, Chenier, this is what we do here because I've got a host of artists that I've had the chance to have conversations with. See, I don't do interviews. I have conversations.
Right.
I want to get to know that artist. I want to know who inspired them, what inspired them, what made them go this route. Where did they see themselves going? I mean, did your mom sing? Did your dad sing? Did the family, get involved with it? Is it a family project, or are you the only one in your family can sing? I met a lot of artists. And I said, "Now, did you get it from your mom and dad?" They said, "Nobody else in my house can sing." So I'm going to introduce you to a lot of people that you may or may not have heard of before.
Okay.
Man, there's a bunch of artists that come to me and they trust me with their music. They trust me with their music, and I will play their music, and I try to provide a platform that they wouldn't otherwise have. And so there's a Robert Hicks. I give a lot of respect for independent artists, and so do I, because you're stepping out on faith. You're not waiting for someone else to take care of you. But being independent, you've got to do a lot. You got to do the work. Once you record it, you got to find ways to get it out there.
Yeah.
Whatever platforms you can provide for someone. So let's go, Robert. Then we go back to Tanisha, Tiffany, and unfortunately, we've got a few more minutes. We'll close it out, and I'm gonna do something unusual in the last couple of minutes or so, but that's okay. All right, Robert.
Absolutely. I would say also, growing up in New York, what was probably the any influence, say for instance, from the New York area, or actually maybe I should put it this way: have you ever had the opportunity to go back to New York recently?
It's been about. Actually, I went in 2023. I had a couple of shows that was back in New York. I'm sorry, 2023. The last place I performed was this place called the Brooklyn Music Kitchen. That's like downtown. I think Brooklyn or Manhattan, one of the two. It was late that night. This is when they had that rainstorm. If you remember that bad storm they had in New York, where everything shut down. That's when I was there. That's the last time I've been to New York. Yeah, like I said, we had a show.
Songbird has just said, "What's that one song that means something to you?"
Great question.
What's that one song that means? Oh man, I'm trying to think. Okay, is it a sexual song? Is it a love song? Is it a dance song? The one song that I think means the most to me, actually, is the song I've written because I got away from ballads, but I wrote my first ballad in a long time, and it's the song called "Allow Me to Reintroduce Myself." Because since I got into the game, I've seen it all from on an independent perspective, to where I want to get back to what started for Mr. Chenier, which was ballad writer. My producer said I'm a balladeer. I said I'm not, because I didn't want to put me in the corner. But when I wrote the song, oh man, that's like the best song on my new project. So, and I didn't want to put it out just yet. I put everything else out, but I said, you know what? Let me send that to him too. Allow me to reintroduce myself, because it's reintroducing myself to love. See, people don't talk about stuff like that no more. Talk about other stuff. Allow me to reintroduce myself. So that's my song right there.
Wow, it sounds like a letter to yourself.
There you go. Allow me to reintroduce myself. Oh man.
Oh, this is too good. This is too good. Matter of fact, I might even tease you guys with that at the end of this show here. We've got a couple of minutes here. So, but anyway, Tiffany.
Okay, so I have a two-part question. One of them is, I'm going to go back to this question here. I just saw it. Okay, this is a great one. What mark are you trying to leave behind, and what do you want to be known as?
The mark that I want to leave behind is love. Let everybody know that Mr. Chenier was all about love. all about spreading love in spite of everything that's going on. No matter what you got going on, music soothes the savage beast. It can be any type. I don't care if it's country, whatever. So I want to be part of that one person or part of that group of artists who are in that field of bringing out good music. That's what I want. That's what I want to be known for. Especially with everything that's going on. Okay. And what was the other part again?
Second part, that came from Jenda. And my question is, can you still play that sax?
No. Okay, now I'm about. Okay, hold on. Let me ask you a question. Is this PG-13 or rated R? I just want to know before I respond. I was going to say, I don't play the saxophone no
able
more.
to listen to the show, so.
Okay. I don't play the saxophone no more, but the mouth still works the same way. There you go. That's why I need to know what were you trying to imply? You
know exactly what she was trying to imply.
I love the saxophone. I love the
saxophone. We can tell, Tim. Yeah.
I love the saxophone. I'm trying to tell you. I'm just saying.
I'm looking at Tanisha's face right there. She's at her. She's
oh my God.
They need to exchange numbers. Make sure you all exchange numbers.
They're gonna talk about producing a film. That's what they're gonna.
Yeah, they need to produce one. And a country song.
Oh my goodness!
After they done it, no, that's what they need to do. I'm telling you. Woo!
Yeah. It sounds like a rap here.